Hello Soneshka, how are you doing?
Yeah, hello sir. How are you?
Yeah, good.
I'm
So
fine.
your vacations has started,
Yes, sir.
but still we have to continue learning. We should not
Yes,
skip
sir.
these lessons. Okay. So last time what we did Delhi
Delhi
Sultan,
Sultans.
and
Delhi
today
Sultan
we'll
is Babur Tughlaq, Alauddin Khalji, and Lori Dynasty, Khalji Dynasty, and Tomar Dynasty.
yes, that's right. Okay. So today also we'll continue with Delhi Sultans, but we'll not study about specific sultans. We'll study about how Delhi Sultans in general used to, what kind of policies and strategies they used to have. Okay, so like Delhi Sultans used to run currencies like the coin that used to be there in Delhi. They are called Delhi Wals. What are they called?
Delhi Wals.
Delhi Wals. Okay. Then Delhi Sultans were like protector of Islam. You know, Delhi Sultans were Muslims, and they acted like protector of Islam. And for
Okay.
that they built many mosques in India. Got it? And that building of mosque signifies that they were protector of Islam. Okay. And in mosque, what people used to do, they used to perform Qibla. Now, what is Qibla? Qibla is basically when Muslims they pray, they face towards west. Okay, their facing is towards west because the you know why Muslims they face towards west while praying?
No, sir.
Okay,
I didn't went to mosque only, so I don't know.
that's okay. So basically, uh, their holy places, Makkah and Medina, they are towards the west.
What
So
is so? What is Makkah and Magina?
Makkah and Medina, they are two cities, ancient cities. One is the birthplace of Pagambar. The uh, he is the person who started Islam. Okay, so one is the birth city and one is the place where he worked. I think Medina is the birth city of Pagambar, and Makkah is where he did his work and he founded Islam. So that's why, to respect these two cities all around the world, they face towards Makkah and Medina. Okay,
West.
from India it is towards the west, so they face it towards west. Okay, and this facing
Okay, sir.
westward is called Qibla. Okay, Qibla is a Urdu term.
Okay.
Then in the mosque,
No.
there is one person who is called Imam. Now you will learn
Huh?
many Imam. You will learn many Urdu words this
Okay.
chapter because these were the people or things or uh, you can say the rituals that were performed during those time by the people in India, especially Muslims. Okay. Now in the mosque, the that head of that mosque is called Imam. Okay, he is very learned person. He is very respected person. He just like in Hindu temples you find a priest over there. So in the same way, in mosque you find Imam over there. So Imam is the person who knows about all the Muslim rituals. So he'll do prayers and he'll do
Oh.
got it, and then
Oh,
he'll
that we call in Hindi Pandit Ji.
yes. So in Muslims they are called Imam. Okay, and
Oh,
generally this person is very learned and very respected person. So people listen to him. Okay, then he does khutbah. Khutbah. Now, what is khutbah? Khutbah is basically sermon. Now,
it's a
what is sermon?
ceremony.
No, not ceremony. It's sermon. Sermon
Ceremony.
means preaching the teachings of Pagambar or preaching whatever is there in Quran. Okay, so he'll read Quran, he'll interpret it, and deliver the sermon to people in the mosque. Okay, this is called khutbah. Got it?
Tiba. Okay.
Hmm. Now, second thing, this is all about mosques. Okay, you have any question about mosque? Mosque means masjid.
No, sir.
No questions?
Yeah, I know, sir. Masjid. Masjid.
Okay. Then going to slaves. So Delhi Sultans used to have slaves. Okay. Now what are these slaves? Slaves are basically the people whom these Delhi Sultans they get it in by purchasing these people. Okay. In those times, people used to sell other humans, other people. So slave are basically one who can be purchased, and after purchasing him, you don't have to pay anything to him. You can get all your work done without paying him. So this was very bad thing about those days, but it was there. So generally, sultans used to purchase these slaves. They used to have many slaves for military purpose. Okay, and sometimes these slaves were even given very high post in the government. Okay, they were given political offices because Delhi sultans they used to trust them very well, because these slaves they cannot become king, they cannot cut your throat, they will do whatever you tell him. So they were very trusted people. Even in some of the books on those days it was written that sultans used to trust slaves more than their own son,
Huh?
more than their own son, because in
Why?
those days, yes, in Mughals, it was very common that the son will kill his father and become the king. So this was very common, but slave will not.
Oh, slave will never do that.
Yes, slave will never do that. So Sultan used to trust slaves more than their son,
Their son.
and these slaves were called bandagan. What they're called? Bandagan.
Bandagan.
Bandagan. Okay, and these bandagans they were very trusted people, and because of this trust, king used to give him political offices like department of treasury. Okay, and other military rules, military responsibilities
Support.
also. Yes. Now, regarding these political offices, also there used to be clients for Delhi Sultanate. Okay, what are these clients? They were basically people of very humble birth. Okay, you're getting my point. So, like king,
Humble both means like a kind
common.
person, a very
No, no, humble birth means not royal people, people from middle class or lower rank of society. Okay, so
okay.
like, so what happens that king used to favor some people from middle class, and because of their humble birth, they do not basically try to overtake the king, and king used to have trust on them just like they used to trust slaves. Okay, so people from these humble births or clients and people from these slaves, these two people used to be appointed as a as a people of the political office. Okay, they were very trusted people. So sometimes even they were raised to governors also, governors of a region, and sometimes military commanders also. Now these military commanders were given iktas. What is ikta?
Ikta territories.
Yes, iktas were a significant area
Terrorist.
or land or territories.
They're terrorist.
Not terrorist, not terrorist. So, so you are getting. So basically, uh, when these military commanders were appointed, they were generally what? They were either people from clients or they were either people from bandagans. Okay, so they were appointed also a small area called iktas. Okay, small lands. Now, uh, these lands, the master of that land, they are called iktadars or muktis. Okay, so these muktis were only appointed
Tax
only.
collection.
Yes, they used to do tax collection in that area. Okay, and they were appointed to that ikta for a very small time, like 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, like that, not for very long time. So what happened that these people were responsible for taking tax from the local people over there, and they will also not like they will not revolt against king, because king will, after a very short period of time, he will appoint him some different ikta. Okay, so like that, these iktas will be circulating among people in sultan's office. Okay, now these tax collection used to be from three things. One is called kharaj. Okay, second is cattle, and third is houses. So if you have
So
houses,
Kharaj means cultivation of farm.
yes, kharaj means cultivation of farm. So from whatever crops you grow,
Agriculture.
agriculture, that you will tax on, you will get you will levy tax on. Then if you have cattle, like if you have lot of buffaloes and cows, then you will uh, you will have to pay taxes. And if you have many houses, in that case also you have to pay taxes. And these taxes will be collected by whom? Who will collect?
Ikta Makti.
Yes,
Iktadar.
yes, Iqtadar or Muktis. Okay. Iqtadar and Muktis, they are one and the same thing. Okay. And they will collect these taxes and give it to the king. Okay. Now, now, uh, now details about these Delhi Sultans, it is given in history. These histories are called Tariq or
Tariq.
Tawarik. Okay. Tariq or Tawarik. Got it? Tariq means
Okay, sir.
history.
They were written in Persian.
Yes, they were written in Persian, and Persian is the administrative language of
Indian
India during
language.
those times. During those times, okay, Persian was administrative language of India. That means all the activities of government used to happen in Persia. Got it? And these tarikhs were written by learned people, scholarly people. Okay. Now
The
who?
secretaries, countries, and administrative poets.
Yes. So mainly who used to write these tarikhs? The secretaries in the office. Okay. The courtiers, the people who are there in the court, administrators. Okay.
And poets.
And poets in the court. They were these learned people who will write tarikh. And these people were only situated near Delhi. They were not from villages or from very far away land. They were only around Delhi during those times. Okay, and
And also they get rich rewards.
yes, in lieu of these tarikhs, they used to get rich rewards. Okay, now they also used to write about. They also used to write or instruct the sultan about social orders. Okay. What is social order? Social order means what is good in the society, what is bad in the society, what is to be done, and what is not to be done. All those advices used to be given by these learned people. Okay, such as they will talk about gender distinctions, like what women should do, what men should do. Women should not go out of house or work in the area or this kind of area. All those things. Okay, and what men should do. All those things come under social order. And also, what is appropriate for somebody according to their birth. That is called birthright. Okay, like slaves by birth, they cannot be given kingship. Okay, or people from low birth, low caste, they will not be given high position in the society. So all these social norms of that time, these people used to write in Tariq, and also they used to advise the king about it. Got it? Okay, we have
Yes,
covered
sir.
a lot. You have any questions?
No, sir. Sir, we have missed something.
Yes, yes, we have missed something. We have to cover many things. Okay,
Champagnes.
campaigns, not champagnes.
Yes, sir.
So Delhi Sultanate, they also used to build garrison. Now, what are garrison? Garrison,
Garrison town where soldiers live.
yes. So they were basically military towns. Okay, and generally the garrisons which are there close to Delhi, Delhi Sultan used to have control over garrisons, strong control over uh, these military towns which are close to Delhi, but not the towns which are very distant one. Like if the garrison is there in Bengal, so far from Delhi, then Sultan will not be able to have much control over it. Now, why is it so? During those times, there was no telephone. Okay, there was no train, there was no aeroplane, there was no mobile phone. So all these technologies, they are very recent one. In those times, there was very low communication with distant people. Okay, so because of that low communication, there used to be rebellion and war-like situation, and they were not able to control those far lands from Delhi. Okay, you understood?
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me why is there why did Sultan have no control over the distant garrisons?
So because there were only soldiers there.
Oh, because of low communication. You see, these three reasons were given. No control over distant one because of no control on distant one,
Low
there used to be
communication.
rebellion. There used to be war with local people, and there was very low. Main reason is the low communication with distant land. Okay. Now, Delhi sultans also had a lot of campaigns.
Campings.
Okay, so some campaigns, military campaigns, they were basically on the internal frontiers. Some were on the external frontiers. Internal frontiers means in areas which were already in their control, but some areas like forest and all those things. So how they got more control on it. So there used to be a lot of forest between Ganga and Yamuna rivers. So on these internal frontiers, has cleared that forest by burning it and by cutting all the trees. Okay.
And give it to peasant because when the peasant grow or the farmer grows the agriculture, he will give to the king as 50% of his agriculture.
Yes. Yes. So that's why. And during this process of burning the forest, the hunter and gatherers were expelled from the forest. Okay. And there were also land available for after burning these forests for building new fortress. Okay. And
Okay.
lot of new trade routes also. Trade routes means roads on which the merchant will come from different city, and when they come from different city, they will also give tax to the king. Got it? So this was the
Yes, sir.
campaigns that happened on the internal frontiers. Now on external frontiers, basically that means for increasing their borders. Okay, so they basically did fight war with South India, mainly towards South India, to basically secure increase their border. And from South India, they used to get these many things like elephants
Elephants, precious
and precious
metals,
metals.
horses, and slaves
Yes,
from the king.
yes. So on the external frontier, they used to get all these things, and from internal front, they used to get taxes and new trade routes and new fortress. Got it?
Yes, sir.
I think I have covered everything, but
Yes, sir. You have covered everything and such a big map.
yeah, such a big map. So let us revise everything. So now tell me, what is the coin in Delhi called? Coins in Delhi.
Delhiwal. Delhiwal.
What is Qibla?
So Kevla means when when Muslims pray, when Muslim like do their namaz, say they sit on the west side to do their prayer.
Yes. And what is khutbah?
Sa khutbah means like isn't in Hindu religion we called a priest as Pandit ji. So there in Muslim category religion we they called Kutubah
No,
as
no,
the
no.
priest.
No, khutbah is not priest. Priest is imam. Okay.
Priest is
And
Imam.
yes, and imam used to give khutbah. Give khutbah means he used to give sermons. What is sermon?
Someone is a prayer.
Sermon is not a
No,
prayer.
no, no,
Sermon
not a
is
prayer. It's not a
preaching.
prayer.
Preaching of teachings of Quran.
Okay, teaching.
Yes,
Okay.
and such holy books. Okay. Now, what is bandagan? Bandagan.
So Bandagan where slaves where kings trusted them as they do not trusted their own sons because they might get thought that his son will kill him and became the king and the slave cannot become the king to kill his owner. So they trusted more than their sons.
Okay. And what is ikta?
Yes, sir?
Ikta, ikta.
So Ikta were military commanders and territories.
No, no, no. Ikta is mainly uh, a significant land or territory, a small area, you can say,
Oh,
that was given to military commander. It is not military commander. Ikta is that land which is given to
that
military.
land to given to military commander.
Ikta means land. Got it? And what is
Okay.
Iktadar or Mukti?
Iktagar Mukti were those people who collect tax from Kha- Kharaj, Kharaj, cattle and agriculture.
Houses. What is Kharaj?
So Kharaj means agriculture, like to grow crops and cultivation to give the 50% to the king.
Okay. Now tell me, what is Tariq?
So Tariq were administrative. Tariq means Persian administrative language for Delhi Sultanates, which were Persian language. Persian was their administrative language, which was known as Tariq.
So history of Delhi Sultans, they were written and those
As
histories are
Persian.
called Tariq. Those histories are called Tariq. Okay.
Oh.
So whatever we learn from about Delhi Sultans, that is from these Tariqs. Okay. And who used to write these Tariqs?
Secretaries, administrative staffs, courtiers, and
Courtiers.
poets.
Courtiers.
Courtiers, sorry, sir. My
And
pronunciation is so bad.
yes. And why do these people used to write Tariqs?
To keep a record in history,
Yes. But what is their personal goal?
so you didn't tell me about that.
Oh, just see uh, in front of
They
the
were learned men and they lived near Delhi.
yes, and they used to get rich rewards from king
Rewards.
in for their tariqs. Okay. Now coming to the campaigns. Now just tell me what are the internal frontiers of the campaign? What
The
did happen as
internal
part of internal frontier?
frontiers. The internal frontiers where the frontier. What is this internal frontiers like? Like what should I tell? It's like the land which which king already took on it. The land, which already king took it. Like
Yes.
trade routes secured, new forest near Ganga and Yamuna, for near Ganga and Yamuna river. Forests were cleared due burning, and hunter-gatherers were expelled, and peasants and king gave the land to the peasants to grow agriculture and give the 50% of agriculture to the king as tax.
Yes. And what was the campaign on the external frontiers?
So the campaign in the external frontiers were in South India. The South Indian king give Delhi Sultanes elephants, precious metals, stone or gems, horses and slaves.
Good. Okay. I think we have covered everything. At
Yes,
last, do you
sir.
have any questions?
No, sir. In this era, I don't have any questions to ask only.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.